That's what separates Shea, I think, from like some of these guys. Because even Luka sometimes has a tendency to be like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna take this step back three." Is he amazing at it? Absolutely, but like still, sometimes it's like, "Nah, Luka, get to the fucking cup all the way, bro."
Yeah, Luka's one of the
6'7",
Luka,
6'8".
Luka's an elite
Leverage your
guard
size,
finisher,
bro.
too. He's not like he's
Yeah.
Well, we're having this Luka conversation earlier though, but you watch how J-Dub, like Shea comes and sets screens for J-Dub, like that matters like through the game, like it gets J-Dub going in a way that like if
the
Shea
ghost screens and stuff. With
like the
Dub
stuff
and
that just gets J-Dub
the guard to
downhill,
guard screens.
guard screens, like both Indiana OKC really leveraged that, like Nembhard, Neesmith come and screen, like we had none of that. Zero.
Bro, even niggas like Kason Wallace do that too.
But like I think it's more important with like your on-ball guards, like involving them. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree to that extent. Like that's what Zay was saying. Zay was saying like when he's saying like, "Yo, I need Luka to change a little bit." Like that's what he's alluding to.
That's
it's like the little things.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's like low hanging fruit. That's not asking a ton.
I don't even necessarily disagree, but I do disagree with the idea that like those other guys are even like remotely comparable to what he does on the ball. Like I do think like, bro, like I'd argue right now Luka's still the best on-ball player in the NBA. Like I don't even think
as a perimeter player for sure.
I don't even think Shay's. I don't even
disagreeing with that. Like I'm not even disagreeing with that. It's just like I think the NBA has gotten so good that like you're gonna eventually face a team through one of the 4 rounds, whether it's in the finals or the first round, that can really like key in on that, right? And I just think there's got to be a little bit more versatility than like when he gives the ball up, go stand 5 feet behind the 3-point line at the wing and wait for the offense to bog down so he can get it back with 5 seconds. Like there's just got to be something more to that. Like
your offense can't get super predictable. Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
like is that Luka or is that coaching? I don't know which one.
It probably is both.
I think it's both.
It might also be a little bit of like, I don't even want to say personnel because I mean Austin's there and Braun's there, and it's like at that point you have to trust that those other guys can also do that. Like you got to trust that, like, okay, look, Austin, I'm gonna set this ghost screen for you, but like this is your play. Like
but that's something that Austin can't ask for, right? Austin can't be like, hey, Luka, come screen for me. That's probably not something like he can ask for. But I think that's got to just be on Luka to make the.
But I feel like that takes time to, because like, okay, for example, like Braun, like Austin can do that with Braun. Austin can be like, hey, yo, Braun, like this is like when I set this screen for you, give it back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna set the like we see it. That's money. That was always our money play, right? Like the inverted screens and shit. Like, and it's like that's something that they figured out where it's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. Like, I'm good enough to where like I can score off this stuff too. And I feel like maybe there's just a level of Luka has to trust that he's playing with other guys that can do that, because that's where it gets like.
I don't think it's only trust. I don't think it's only trust
than Luka.
I don't think it's only trust. I feel like that's kind of who Braun is though, as a player.
I put that on coaching more than Luka.
Braun trusts Reeves though. Like he
trusts him. Yeah.
I think if JJ drills down the point of like, hey, Luka, we need you to set more screens, I think he would do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
It's got to come from JJ.
So there's this to that point that Zay's making. There is this I don't know who he was in relation to Dallas, but I think he's like a reporter, like a media guy, whatever, for the Dallas Mavericks. And people talk, and they asked him about Luka's reluctancy to like do the little things, whether it's like set screens, be more of an off-ball guy. And one of the things he talked about was like, well, first of all, when he played for Real Madrid, like he wasn't off-ball, like he wasn't always running offense, like he wasn't 100 pick and roll. Heliocentric type of player, but that's because his coaches said, look, bro, you're like, you have to do these things if you want to play. I think obviously it's not to that extent because Luka's one of the best players already probably of all time, but at the same time, like, how are the coaches telling him to do that? Are Luka's coaches saying, hey, you need to set these screens? Like seriously, do we think Jason Kidd is telling them, hey, bro, go set this screen here, go do this here? And even to a lesser extent, because it's been early, like, is JJ doing that? Is JJ like, hey, yo, I need you to do this? I don't think he is.
And who was telling him that though? Rick Carlisle was telling him that, and he's probably like, "F off." Like, I'm good.
Was he though? And that was. I gotta find the clip, Raj. I'm gonna send it to you. I can't remember.
I feel like out of those 3 coaches, it probably.
But that was one of the things where basically what the Dallas guy was saying when he was like, dude, I don't think Luka is just reluctant to do these things. I think he's not being told to do it. Like one of the things he said when he went to Dallas, when he became Dallas Maverick, he was like the star child. He was the prodigal son. He was the guy that was prompted to be the next in line, and you could tell him no, like he could do no wrong. And they kind of coddled him a little bit, and to the point where I don't even think those guys were really telling him to do that, including Carlisle. I don't think Carlisle was telling him to do that stuff, bro.
I think he was. And he was told, here's the door. I think he was told get out. Like
I think they had disagreements for sure. I also think it was tough because the Porzingis stuff happened during the Carlisle saga too, and Porzingis admitted that he was like at fault for a lot of the stuff that didn't work with him.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know, man. I don't know if Luka is just like fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm Luka Doncic, or is it like, hey, bro, if someone's telling me to do this shit, I'm not gonna not do it. I'm not gonna just like not buy in. And I think there's a different level when you're playing next to a guy like LeBron James, bro. It's LeBron James. Like, bro, are you really gonna tell LeBron James to fuck off? I don't think so. I don't think Luka's sitting here like, bro, I'm better than LeBron. Like, fuck what LeBron's saying. Like, fuck what LeBron needs. I don't think Luka's that type of player. And I think Austin Reeves in the time where Bron was gone, I think Austin earned a lot of Luka's trust when Bron had the injury and he was out for a couple weeks. So I don't know. I think Zay's right in that. I think coaching matters more than. I don't think Luka is just this hell bent on not doing those things. I just don't think he's been asked to do them enough to where it's even a thing for him.
Yeah. I just
That's how I look at it.
There's such a gap though, like between like what he's obviously already great, but like if he just implemented these little things, like I think it would just take the Lakers ceiling to another level.
Yeah, because these things aren't even like major asks.
No, they're not. They're just like minor things. That, like, if he does this, it just makes the Lakers 100 times more tougher to guard, no matter who they go and get next season, right? And I think that's where
Raj, we brought up Giannis the year he won the title. Like he was doing those little things on offense, setting screens for his teammates, like playing more like a big in certain scenarios. Like he was doing those.
He was like I would agree. Giannis just isn't Luka though. Like his role, like he had to do that because he just isn't good enough as an on-ball creator.
Actually, right? That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You know, so like it makes sense. That Middleton was their closer because Giannis.
And that's why I'm trying to really understand what you guys ask from Luka. Like, is it?
It's
to
that like
more or like is it to?
No, it's like sometimes
it's not to be the worst off-ball player in the league, bro.
No, but like sometimes the right shot isn't a step back three over two dudes, right? Like sometimes it's like, all right, let me like they're playing me this way. Like I gotta let me go get Austin or LeBron open because they're not.
But that's why we fell in love with Kobe, though, bro.
Nah, but Kobe was able to oscillate between.
Kobe could play off ball, bro. That nigga could play off ball. Like, it wasn't.
I know, but I'm talking about with the step back over two dudes. Like,
I'm gonna guard the best guy on the other team. I'm gonna play off ball. I'm gonna let Derek Fisher get
literally,
yeah. He definitely.
Yeah, but like Luka's not gonna play defense.
He's not gonna do that.
Okay, well then he's not gonna win championship.
Who?
You just said, well, Luka's not gonna play defense. Nigga not gonna.
You didn't let me finish. I was gonna say defense like Kobe.
Because you know how you brought up that.
Not even asking.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how the defense came up when he was talking about shooting over two.
It can't be like a complete negative on that end. Like we've shown Luka's been capable of being like a okay defender.
Okay, when the Lakers were one of the best defenses in the league this year. Let's talk about this season.
Yeah,
they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. But we weren't talking about Luka's defense. Like, we weren't like, oh man, Luka's just not good.
He wasn't that bad.
But that's my point. So like, why are we mentioning things that we've seen him do? We've seen him do that as a Laker.
Important game
because in the playoffs he wasn't doing those.
In the playoffs, your negatives get magnified, right? And so they picked on Luka in a way where, like, yes, some of it is he's not a positive defender, but some of it's also like there's got to be a level of competitiveness from him where you can't get beat in such away, right? There were plays where he just gives up because of
Jaden McDaniels just gliding past him, like, bro.
And so it's like the transition defense. That's the stuff that bothers me a little bit more. Like that type of stuff, like really, if you want to win. And I get his conditioning wasn't at the peak level, so I'm giving him a little bit of a pass from there. But yeah, I just think that stuff like matters. What best players?
I understand defensive shit. It's the offensive shit that I struggle with.
I guess I would understand if I didn't see him do these things, even in playoff settings, because bro, you don't get. I'm sorry, bro. You don't get to the finals, bro.
No, but Rome.
By
We're
being
asking
a
him to do these things more
complete fucking
consistently,
cone.
though.
Like,
that's what we're
But
asking.
you have to do it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to do it
More
consistently.
That's
If
what
you
we
want to
want.
win a championship, it's hard, and that's gonna be
respectfully, we're basing this off of 5 games where, like, we know why they lost the fucking series, bro. We don't have to.
Sure, I don't think Luka's
We
at the
don't have
top
to
of the
do
list
this,
of why
that,
we
and
lost.
that's
but-
like we don't have to do these, bro. We know. And for me, it's like, bro, like, I think full season under your belt, I think a roster more capably like suited to fit your strengths and your weaknesses, and an actual like real run at it going into the playoffs. Like, I just don't think we're gonna think like this.
But I
think we're thinking like this because of the last things we saw. But bro, like, we've also seen him be good enough defensively. Like, we've seen it.
But that's not all I'm basing off from. I'm basing off the teams that are winning this year. Like, the amount of negative defenders they have are very
barely
low.
any.
Like,
They
it's
have
like
like
one.
But that's not even all Luka's fault, though.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, like,
for our team.
it compounds, right? Because I'm putting in the context of the Lakers next season. I'm assuming LeBron, Austin, and Luka are going to be in the starting lineup. We'll see if they can get another plus defender in there with him. But I'm just saying, like, I think Luka can't be this bad in context with who the Lakers will have next season, right? If they have 4 DPOIs around him, then yeah, he can be an awful defender. But that's likely not the Lakers roster next year.
I didn't say that.
Right?
But he didn't have 4 DPOIs next to him in Dallas.
You need 4 DPOIs.
He didn't have one. He didn't have one next to him in Dallas.
But he had some.
I think you need a rim protector.
Derek Jones was playing elite POA defense in that.
Derek Jones, Derek Lively were really good.
And
PJ Washington was excellent. Like, those were
good, like,
really good defensive players.
Derek Jones did his thing.
PJ
Washington was solid.
Good. Derek
Jones. Niggas ain't gonna talk about what they did in the finals.
Great defensively.
And Lively was coming off the bench.
The Celtics weren't even great offensively in the finals.
Yeah, they just got neutralized, bro. That offense got neutralized.
Yeah, I thought the Mavericks issue was offense in that finals.
They could not.
Kyrie was terrible.
None of their players showed up. Literally, none of their guys showed up.
Kyrie was terrible.
Kyrie was awful. PJ was awful.
We have to address this.
Were awful.
I hate when somebody said trying to police, and this got 2 fire emojis. I'm gonna call out the niggas who fired this. G-Book and X Lego. Trying to police Luka, man, just build the roster the right way. We know that the roster needs to be built the right way. It's 2 things that have to happen. We don't think we're factoring in the roster being built the right way. Even with that, you could still not get to where you want to be because of
getting I just said when the roster was built the right way, his defense looked good. That's my point. Like, when
his defense was serviceable. Yeah.
But they didn't
win.
Still
analyze his.
They didn't win because they weren't the better team.
They didn't lose to the Boston Celtics because Luka couldn't guard. That's not why they lost, bro.
That's a reason why they lost.
It was a factor. His
defense. They couldn't even score.
Bro, go look at what Kyrie Irving was doing in that fucking playoff series, bro.
If you think, but see, this is so. I hate. Joe says if you think Luka got to defend for us to win a chip, then we not winning. He can't be the what are you talking about? So we can't expect a max player to not be one of the worst defenders in the league.
I just think
the year Jokic.
I watched Jokic do it.
He was actually.
I think we're having
good
defenders in the league when he won a championship.
Literally,
I think we're having these conversations for a team that's not built to even have these conversations for. That's my problem.
We don't even care about the team now. We're talking about
we should care about the team. We should care about the team because right now
I'm not talking about the team roster. I'm talking about if the roster's better. That's what we're talking about. If the roster's better, that's still going to be an issue.
If we're prioritizing Luka to be better defensively, then I'm sorry, bro. Get Austin off the team then. Because why is he on the team? I need to swap him. I need to swap him for a guy that's really going to play defense. If this is what we're doing, if defense is a problem, then why is Austin there?
Get them all defenders.
Because Austin's never. No. Austin's never going to be good enough defensively to mitigate Luka his defense. Because Luka's just not. He's just not going to do.
Nah, but Austin Reeves was clamping Anthony Edwards, bro. Look at the numbers.
It's just not going to happen.
Nobody was saying that at all.
I think what me and Zay are saying, bro. There's a
gap. Bro. In Dallas,
there's a baseline he has to be at with regardless of who we have on the team. If he don't reach that baseline, it don't matter who we have.
There's a big gap from worst defender in the league to like below average, and like that's what we're saying. Like just
was he the worst defender?
Was he the worst defender in the league?
Absolutely.
In the playoffs, he was pretty bad.
No, who cares about the regular season? We lost in the.
It wasn't even our defense while we lost.
We're talking about 5 games.
Yeah, we lost. We didn't win the series.
We're talking about 5 games, bro.
We didn't win the series, and in 2 of those 5,
I don't think we didn't win the series because we didn't get enough stops, bro.
We're talking about 5 games. We didn't have a center. Like, what are we doing? We couldn't
But you don't
rebound
think
the ball.
JJ's gonna run?
Possession.
Wait, Rome. You don't think JJ's gonna run
Like,
non-center
what?
lineups next year? Like we're not gonna get small ball
this
lineups
is the
next
same.
year.
This is my same
Yeah,
issue
we're gonna
y'all
get
do
small
with
ball
Austin.
lineups.
This is my same issue y'all do with Austin, where it's like, oh, but Austin couldn't fucking guard a parked car, blah blah blah. Bro, okay, dude, awesome, bro. We didn't have a playable 5 in the fucking series.
But that doesn't just excuse him.
Raj just said,
you cannot just wave him off like
overcome that, bro.
Ex-Lagoat is waving him. Luka was the worst defender because of the roster.
I'm telling you right now, if Luka was amazing defensively, we still can't overcome not having a fucking center against a.
Yeah, I don't think that means you beat Minnesota, but I'm just.
But we're not saying that at all. Nobody ever said that. Why y'all keep changing? You keep moving the narrative around. We never said that.
Because I'm
teams are going to target Luka regardless.
Because what I've been saying this whole time is, can we get a roster that makes sense before I'm trying to hold this nigga to a defensive standard?
I literally just told you. I'm not even talking about the roster.
Rome. What we're saying is that regardless of the roster, Luka is still going to have to play at a level defensively where it's acceptable.
But everybody knows that. Why are we acting like he's never reached that level?
Apparently, y'all niggas don't, bro. You niggas are literally arguing that right now. You're arguing.
No, so you think that I'm arguing that Luka does not have to play any defense?
You just said that nigga's not gonna ever play defense. You just said that like 10 minutes ago.
This nigga Joe just said if you think
I said he's not going to be the defender that Kobe was. The nigga in the comments mentioned Kobe.
Literally.
I just think we're overstating how bad he is on defense consistently.
I don't think so at all.
I
don't think he's consistently terrible on defense. I just don't.
In the playoffs,
I don't think he's consistently terrible on defense. Matter of fact, I think I have a tweet game 2 we won where I said, "Yo, Luka was pretty good defensively."
Yeah, that's one game. What about the 2 after that? That was a series.
Wait, game 3 when he was sick? Game 3 when he was sick and literally was bad on both sides?
What about game 1? What about game 1?
I know he
what do you mean but? Don't butt that. Don't butt that. So he was great. So he was great defensively one game, and the other game he literally shouldn't even have played.
And then the game after he was sick.
So now we're talking about 3 games. So we're
game 4 was good. Game 4 was good.
There were a lot of games to end the regular season.
We're basing all this off 3 games now, bro.
Like there was the Warriors game at home.
It's the
playoffs.
Oh yeah, the Warriors game too at home. Literally,
there's a good amount of games, but I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying.
So many, bro. What we could literally find a lot of games in the regular season.
Charlotte game, bro. All right, bro.
No, I'm not doing the Charlotte game. He just got here. Charlotte game, he just got
here. He was there for a fuck. He was terrible in that game, on both sides.
Yeah, I don't care about the Charlotte game.
What about the Celtics game? What about the Celtics game?
Jerome, I think you're misconstruing. Like me and Zaire.
What about the Celtics game? He's getting targeted, bro.
The center is the most important.
He's going to get targeted against every team, bro. He's going to get targeted.
That's our point, bro.
And if it's not,
he's gotta win a few of those. Like
he's get targeted regardless. Luka's not going to become this perimeter defender, bro.
When Luka was on the team,
I'm talking to Coney. He said that's our point, that they're going to target him. Duh, they're going to target Luka.
Yeah, they're going to target him
out there.
Nigga, Shay's getting targeted right now.
Yeah, and Shay's at least.
Like, what are we talking about?
We didn't. That's why niggas just make up points. Nobody said we want him to not get targeted. We want him to not lose every single time he gets targeted. That's the point.
I don't think he lost every single time.
He lost a lot.
I disagree. He did not lose every single time, bro.
He doesn't lose every single time, but he doesn't lose every single time.
No one said he loses every single time.
He lost a large majority of the.
Hey, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but Luka is going to not defend more than he defends, bro. As long as he gets certain stops. So he's never going to be this good perimeter defender.
We
never said he needs to be a good perimeter defender. We never said that. Stop saying that.
You want niggas to stop somebody most of the time after being targeted? You're asking him to be a good defender.
We never said to stop most of the time. We're just saying you can't lose. If you just lose,
he didn't lose every single time though. So what are we saying?
He lost.
He lost an inordinate amount. Didn't we just see Shea be ass on defense? I think niggas are running with that a little too. I don't know.
Yeah, niggas are so dude that niggas are so dude Shea being ass defensive.
Shea hasn't been good on defense though. He has not been good on defense.
No, he hasn't been bad.
He doesn't get fucking.
I disagree. We literally watch him play good defense down the stretch of this game. What are we doing?
They want him to be better defensively in the ISO in the clutch.
You realize the reason why the Pacers are targeting Shea.
Shea is part of the Vinay. That's what I'm saying, Vinay.
They are targeting Shea because they want that nigga to work on defense because they know he's their main offensive player. That's another reason.
Our point is he's not going to get.
But But that's also why they.
That's
also why they.
That's the
same
difference
thing with
is,
Luka, dude. You just made the whole. You just made the same point.
But the difference is, Luka literally just gets fried though. Shea doesn't get fried.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
All right.
Yes,
so Shea doesn't get fried.
We don't help.
It's a viral clip of Shea getting fried.
Not as consistently as Luka.
What are you talking about?
Not as consistent as Luka.
Like, bro, that nigga. Bro, I just watched a nigga get called a fucking star because he fried Shea, literally.
But is this? But is this not? This is why I don't know why certain standards are set for certain players. Joe says our point is he's not going to get much better defensively, so build around him. Why can't we want a 25, 26-year-old to get somewhat better?
Like, bro, Jokic is a perfect example. The year
niggas are gonna tell me
that'd be nice.
And niggas are gonna tell me the offensive ass as if we don't have LeBron and Austin Reeves. Like, why do we even have LeBron and Austin Reeves, but niggas still gonna be terrible?
The year the Nuggets won the title in 2023, Jokic was actually a good defender that year in the playoffs. Majority. Like,
I don't know if he was good, but he was.
That nigga went against Anthony Davis, bro.
He's not good.
All right, you got it.
Jokic is not good defensively, dude.
No, he's not. But I'm talking about that.
I don't know why
that year they won a championship.
I don't know why he went to Anthony Davis, bro.
I'm talking about the year
Anthony Davis brought it like he did every game, like how he did next year.
I'm talking about that year they won the championship. I'm not talking about his career.
But for Jokic's position, he reached a baseline defensively where their offense could take over because he wasn't as terrible as he was before. People still picked on him, but he won more of those possessions than.
That's kind of what we want with Luka, though.
So when we were a good ass defensive team, was Luka not winning more of his matchups than?
I mean, when we were a good defensive team, we had Jackson Hayes starting. So like, I don't know how much, like, you know what I mean. If
you're saying it was fake?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was fake. A lot of people think it was super fake.
I don't know.
What you're saying, it sounds like it was fake.
I don't know
what you just said.
But regardless, those games are not the most important games of the season where he was bad to terrible defensively. So why
our defense isn't why we lost against the Timberwolves, bro. We already,
we couldn't rebound. We couldn't rebound. We couldn't rebound. And Jaden McDaniels literally in one of these games had 30 points and missed like 3 shots. It's a fair amount of that.
Didn't Jaden McDaniels have 30 points against the Warriors? Aren't they supposed to be a better defense than us?
Did he?
I don't think. I think it's gross that Zay is acting like us just not having a center is not literally. Something that's insurmountable in the playoffs against the biggest.
No,
I never.
But
that is insurmountable, bro.
I've never said that's not. But you're excusing anything Luka did defensively in that series.
I'm not excusing it, bro.
I'm not excusing it.
I'm not excusing it. I'm saying he wasn't terrible every game of the series, and on top of that, even if he was, you know, and I know that wasn't reason number 1, 2, or 3 why we fucking lost that series, bro.
But it's on the list. But it's on the list. Like,
it's on the main reason, but
that's on the list.
It's far down the list.
That's on the
list.
It
could be there. It could be there.
It's probably not reason number 1, 2, and 3.
I'm not saying it's not an issue at all. I'm
not saying it's not
an issue at all.
Wait. Let's go through the list.
I'm not saying it's not an issue at all.
Number 1 is center. Wait.
Number 1 is rebounding, just in general.
Number 1 is center. I believe we didn't have a great center. What would you say number 2 is? I would say scoring in 4 quarters.
I would say
like, okay, you can put coaching.
I would say coaching.
That's kind of like the same thing.
JJ Redick was fucking terrible. We didn't play our bench players at all.
All right,
at all.
Clutch scoring and coaching, I kind of put.
And 3, I'm putting late game offense because we couldn't.
That's where I have it. That's where I have it too. I think right after that though is our perimeter defense, and like I thought we switched everything. That's coaching. That's part of coaching as well. But I thought we lost a lot of matchup where we just.
I think 4 is Austin Reeves not being good enough. I'm sorry. That's what
Austin Reeves not being good enough.
I think 4 is Austin Reeves literally did not look.
Yo, where are we ranking?
And 5 is our bench giving us.
No. I think that's 100%.
Where are we ranking? Not being able to fight through screens. Where are we ranking that?
Well, that's part of the perimeter defense, though. Right?
Are you talking about Luka?
I'm talking
about the whole team. I'm talking about the whole team.
Here's the part that like I have trouble with.
I mean,
I'm talking about niggas giving up switches so easily that our defenders are getting hunted.
But we did that all year, bro.
Yeah,
but is that JJ saying all right?
We just named 6 things before we even mentioned Luka, bro.
But we don't all agree on those 6 things are over Luka. So I don't know what you. We don't agree on that.
You got bench.
Niggas got it.
You got rebounding, coaching.
That's your
center.
No center. I don't agree on that, so it's fine.
Come on, bro.
I'm just saying, Raj. You asked me what my priorities were in that series, and that's where I stand. Do I think Luka should be better defensively? Sure, yeah. But I don't think if we can't
be a sure.
But we can't use no. We can't use a 5-game series with 4 or 5 other things that were worse than Luka's defense as the reason why he needs to be better defensively.
But that is something, especially in the playoffs.
Luka's defense has been a conversation.
That's what it's been for years. It's not even about 5 games. It's been this for years. The last 2-3 playoff runs have been this way.
He's been a good defender for the whole career. No,
it's been this way for a minute. And I think I can contextualize what happened in this series with different players. I know even with different players and better players, that still might be an issue. It can't be like that even if we have different players.
I think if that's genuinely an issue, like I said, if that's genuinely an issue, like genuinely, and we'll see when we get there. If the team's actually built around what it's supposed to be, and I see a championship level roster, and we get to that point, well, guess what, bro? You're gonna have to figure that out. We'll figure that out when we get there. My whole premise has been, bro, how can I even get to that point? How can I even get to that point when I'm looking at all these other reasons why we're not good enough?
But that's where I'm at. Wait, you don't think next year they're gonna play lineups without a big man though? Like this is stuff that this is how JJ coaches.
It's not about small ball 5 lineups, dog. It's not about that. We didn't even have the versatility to. When we say you don't have a center, let's just say the team in general had a complete lack of versatility. Just say it that way.
Sure, but I'm
because I don't think the small ball 5 lineups are terrible all the time.
JJ likes all switching lineups. Doesn't that's what he likes to go to, and I think
you can get a switch in center.
Yeah, clocks.
No, for sure.
But you're running. But Raj, you're running an all switching lineup with fucking Rui Hachimura, Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves.
Sure, and then
how does that make sense?
And I'm saying they hunted Luka within that, right? And so I think
and if Luka wasn't here, you know what they do? They hunt Austin Reeves because that's what they did all season before we even got Luka. They hunted Austin Reeves, and he lost his matchup, so we were one of the worst defenses in the league. We were actually worse defensively before Luka got here. We were worse defensively, and they were literally targeting Austin Reeves.
You mean after we traded AD?
My nigga,
I'm talking about with AD on the fucking team. I'm talking about with Anthony Davis on the team. So why now has it become a problem with Luka Doncic when it was worse with Austin? It was worse.
Was it worse with?
It was worse
with AD.
We were a worse defense.
Defenders don't get hunted that bad though.
We were a worse defense. Yes, we were a worse defense.
Okay, and that team had Anthony Davis on it. So do and this
that team had AD, man.
Do with that? Do you genuinely think we're a worse team with Anthony Davis? If you actually think that,
we were.
Yes, we were, nigga. These are stats, nigga.
Okay, so don't ever switch on that when niggas talk about AD. Don't ever switch on that.
You were the one.
You were the one saying Jackson Hayes.
No. You already did switch. You already did switch. You switched on it, nigga. You switched on it when you said, "Oh yeah, why is Hayes? Why is Jackson Hayes? Oh, Jackson Hayes. You were doing that all fucking year,
bro. Every time AD seen another big nigga, he was shitting on himself.
You're switching on it to make a point. So stay here. Don't switch back because you're switching on it to make a point. So that's it. So don't switch back on that. You said we're better defense.
I'm not switching back on anything. I'm telling you that we were objectively a worse defense when Austin Reeves was the one getting targeted instead of Luka Doncic, even with AD.
Okay,
even with AD, that's not an indictment on AD, nigga. That's an indictment on the fucking scheme. Why are we switching everything with AD on the fucking team? It makes no sense, nigga. I'm not switching on anything. It's not about AD. It's about the fucking defensive scheme, nigga. So listen, you wanted to make that about AD. It has nothing to do with AD. AD's at the fucking 3-point line switching to Austin Reeves.
You can't say scheme when you just try to make it about
nigga. The scheme is literally they are exploiting the scheme because they're saying we are going to target Austin Reeves because they are switching everything. That's a part of an exploitation of the scheme, nigga. What are you talking about? That's literally what's happening.
You made this.
What are you saying?
You made this point up to bring.
It's not about Anthony Davis, nigga. It's about Austin Reeves. That's the point.
Exactly. So stop talking about scheme. You just made the point to bring up Reeves.
Nigga, the scheme. He's the problem. That's the problem. Why are you? I just said. I asked Raj. Why is that our defensive game plan when we have niggas that don't guard? That's literally what I'm saying. And I use Austin as an example because I don't even think Austin's a bad defender. That's why I'm using it as an example. So what are you talking about? The scheme's an issue, nigga. The scheme's literally a fucking issue.
And he's literally. This is why just doing
the scheme is literally an issue
because he's literally argued Reeves' defense is a lot better than niggas.
Exactly. Try to argue.
I'm not saying it's not. I just said he can go. I just said I don't think he's a bad defender. Yeah, walk away, nigga, because you're wrong. You don't even hear what I'm saying. You're just wrong. Nigga just wanted to argue. You made my point, nigga. You made my point. Talk about Luka Doncic, nigga. You talked about Luka getting targeted. I'm saying Austin got targeted, and we are worse defense.
Yes,
so it doesn't make sense. Clearly, it's a scheme problem. Why are we a worse defense with Anthony Davis? It's clearly a scheme issue. It's clearly a scheme. It's clearly scheme. It's clearly scheme. It's clearly scheme. It makes no sense.
You can just throw that whole thing.
Nigga said K not in these combos.
There's clearly no.
We clearly know that JJ was doing the wrong thing defensively. Yes. We clearly know.
James
that was the issue.
Romans, they have a powerful combo. They can wipe your knees.
But that's Jesus Christ. With JJ. I think that's a factor as well. And we've talked about that being a factor. But Luka being poor defensively, that's not just a JJ thing. That is a him thing as well.
Okay, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, what you guys are arguing, the targeting shit. Oh, you're targeting blah blah. I'm telling you, that was an issue before. Like that was really an issue
that
before
was never
Luka
even my point about Luka being targeted or anything like that. I didn't care about that. I'm talking about just him as an aggregate defensively. The targeting shit is gonna happen regardless. He needs to win more of those matchups, but that's not. They will just target the worst defender on the floor. That doesn't even necessarily mean you're a bad defender. That's why I hate the targeting point.
But that's what I'm saying. When I'm bringing up Austin as an example, I'm not sitting here telling you Austin's a fucking cone. That's not what I'm saying.
But that's kind of our point, Rome. Like Rome,
I'm saying that nigga was getting targeted because of what bro. The plan is, we're switching everything. We're conceding switches, and I'm gonna target Austin fucking Reeves. Do I think Austin Reeves is a fucking terrible defender? No, I don't. I think he's a neutral defender. I think he's neutral. The nigga was getting cooked on switches, bro. He was getting cooked on switches, bro.
I think he's worse than neutral. That's just my opinion, though.
He's not.
I think he's neutral.
I think neutral defenders.
I think all the advanced metrics will tell you that he's a neutral defensively,
bro. Our defense,
and then in the playoffs he gets better. So
eye test wise, where are you seeing that he's terrible? I don't even know eye test wise how you seeing he's terrible. I don't know. It's a biased watch, is what it is.
See that nigga get beat off the dribble by Jay McDaniels and then he fouls him.
All right,
and we lose the fucking game. Fuck that nigga.
He's a neutral defender.
I think all we're asking for is a little bit more effort on that end from Luka defensively. I think that's all we're at.
The targeting points,
that's something that you don't have to worry about with Austin. I guess he's not a great defender, but
you can be targeted and still not be terrible defense. Like Curry used to get targeted. He was even
Curry wasn't good defensively though. He wasn't good.
He was just the worst one out there. He was not good defensively. But he was never.
No. Like he got a lot better.
Zay, is that not the point that I've been making?
He got better,
the whole
but
time,
he was not good defensively.
Is it?
Like Luka's gonna get targeted every time. It don't matter, bro. He could get better defensively. He's still gonna get targeted.
Our point is that he's currently getting targeted because he is terrible. Now it has to change from you getting targeted,
but he may get targeted anyway, even if he's good.
I don't think he will. He's gonna get targeted anyway, bro.
I think he'll get targeted anyway.
But the difference is the result is going to be the difference in that.
I don't think so. I'll argue it's not.
Luka guard, like there's
he's gonna get targeted, bro.
Yeah, I've seen Luka. I think Luka's a good defensive playmaker, and by that I mean he's able to generate
when
stocks.
he puts his mind to it, like he's one. Yeah,
I think Jokic a good defensive player.
He can generate stocks. He's a decent low man. He can play the passing lanes. Like he can do those things. It's not like,
but he chooses not to for a heavy amount of possessions.
I was about to say.
I think your guys' issue. I feel like your guys' issue is more on ball.
No, I don't know.
I feel like off ball he's not
different. Off ball he's definitely not bad.
I feel like he's not horrible off ball.
He's not horrible off ball. I don't think he's bad.
I think on ball he's horrible. I think on ball he's horrible. I think off ball he's fine.
On ball Steph. Shut up.
I think off the ball. I think off ball he's fine defensively.
And I think that, which I hate that this is a issue because I usually be like, bro, but it is issue with him is like effort wise. Sometimes he just. Even in some of these big games, he just concedes like way too many baskets. Which, like, again, I understand he's Luka Doncic, but some of that has just got to.
That's right.
Even with because that was my point with the problems we have on the team, those can be fixed, and I think will be fixed. But when you fix those issues 1 through 4, that number 5,
you still have Austin on your team.
Tony, let me get Tony up.
Austin doesn't concede.
Okay. When you fix those 4, which I think you will, number 5, which is Luka, wherever Luka is, he goes to number 1, and then you're gonna have to figure out how to fix number 1. To fix it,
but that's what I'm saying. But Zay, that's been my whole argument. Let that become like once that becomes that priority, like once that becomes number 1 priority, like you just said, because I agree with what you're saying. Once that becomes number 1, then let's get there. But
you right now, you
can't look at that now.
I'm viewing it as a number 1 now. I think all that other
it's hard. It's hard because I don't know, bro. How many times have we heard this year? I mean, this is probably going to take a couple seasons. It's probably going to take a couple trade windows to get to where we're going to be. And it's like, all right, like if we're a middling team throughout all of this, yeah, sure, Luka can be better defensively and he can get there. But at the same time, if that doesn't if it doesn't get there, like we're not going to be good enough regardless of Luka being good defensively or not. Like it might not matter. It might be a moot point. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm in the future. Well, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm in the future with it mentally of like I'm already viewing our team as that.
Yeah.
If our team's not that, it doesn't matter. Like I don't really care about Luka.
So you already have the confidence that we can get to where we're supposed to get to in regards to being a championship level team.
That's the baseline expectation is they get a center and one more defensive piece.
Because if
like
they don't get that, bro, it's not even worth talking about.
So Capella and like Bruce Brown.
We don't have to get through the names, but like that's like the baseline. But my point though, Roman, if you go back and rewatch the series, right? There's like yes, Jaden McDaniels had some incredible shots, but there's also a lot of where he just bullies Luka in a way where like if Luka gave just a bit more, and I'm not saying this is why we lost the series. It's just he has a tendency to just give up, right? It's like this guy's going at me. I'm not really trying to defend right now, and the guy gets like, like that. There's just a lot of possessions where that happens. I'm not saying Jaden didn't get his game off against other guys. It's just that stuff to me stands out. Or in transition, where like he's upset about an offensive foul he didn't get, so he just gives up the layup on the other end because it's like
complain to the rest and shit.
He cooked Austin a lot too. I think
I'm not saying he didn't.
He's a 6'10" wing, but I'm just gonna say this though. Do y'all think the Luka giving up on plays? Do y'all think that's like willpower as opposed to like? Because how many times we've all talked about conditioning, right? Like he gasses out 4 quarters. He's like he'll give you an amazing first quarter, probably the best first quarter player in the league, and then by the fourth, you're like, where the fuck is Luka?
Yeah.
And I feel like defensively, you could probably attribute some of that effort stuff to him not being conditioned enough either. Like maybe if he's conditioned, if he becomes more of a conditioned player, maybe the defense looks different too. Maybe you're
for sure.
Maybe you're able to stay in front.
But to your point, is it conditioning or if you make the team a lot better? But I think some of that is if you make the team a lot better defensively.
Because I think Luka, like my thing with Luka that I think he needs to improve on is that I think conditioning. Like I think, bro, I need you to be.
Do you expect him to be in great shape next year?
I don't need you to have an 8-pack and fucking sprinting down the fucking court every play. I need you to be conditioned, dog. I can't have you gassed out in 4 quarters, bro.
Do you think he changes his body this summer though? Like I think that's a huge.
But I think
he's doing it. I think he's doing it.
I mean, he's always skinny in June, and then all of a sudden in October he looks back to.
I know he's Luka, but I don't want to.
He's back in America. That's why.
I know it's Luka, but I don't want him to think that is conditioning. I don't think no player could be conditioned to do what he's attempting to do in the Timberwolves series of scoring fucking 25 points in the first half and having anything left in the second. Like,
what about Jokic though, Zay? What about Jokic? That nigga,
he didn't even do it.
I know, but he became a crazy conditioned athlete though.
Yeah,
but that takes everything out of him.
He is a conditioned demon.
He's a conditioned demon, but that takes everything out of him. And they lose them games a fair amount of time. They've lost some games when he does that.
I be seeing Jokic in OT, and that nigga like still has the legs to run up and down the court.
But Luka's doing it differently because Jokic also doesn't necessarily operate from the top of the key as much as Luka. Or
Jokic is banging with big.
I think it's funny. It's actually funny because one of the things that you guys think that he should get better at is being more off the rock, right? Like giving more guys.
I think that would help his conditioning.
I think that would help his conditioning. Yeah.
That's kind of why.
I think it helps him on both sides.
Yeah,
it helps him on both sides.
It's not even like you're being a ball hog. It's just, bro, no player in history
I don't think
wants to be able to score.
Bro, it's why Harden would like tire out, bro. How many fourth quarters would Harden be dead in? I'm not comparing him to Harden. It's just how many playoffs for the Rockets would Harden be scoreless in the fourth or not come through? And people are like, oh, Harden's a mental midget or whatever. But like literally he's dead. Like he's taking step back threes against tough defense for the first 3 quarters. But he has no legs for the fourth.
And Rob, people are saying conditioning is such an important factor. But that no player will ever be conditioned enough to score that much in a game. This is why players don't really do that. Or
especially against good defenders.
I would argue, but maybe Luka doesn't even have to play like that. But maybe you don't.
That's our point, though.
That's our point.
Maybe you don't gotta get 25. Maybe you don't gotta get 25, and maybe you get 15 in the first half.
But Rome, here's the tough part. How do you tell him like after he's made 3 straight threes, step back? Like, all right, here, give us the ball back. Like that's you know what I mean?
We watch those games. We watch those games, dude. Sometimes he's playing and he just doesn't miss. Like, bro, there have been times watching the game. It's like 20 to fucking 10, and he has 18 points.
So that's the question. How do you How do you get him to understand? Because I think that's the tough part the Lakers are in, where he's so good in the first quarters, where it's like he's hitting shots that are bad process, good result, and then the second half, it's like Luka took a step back over, whatever.
I think that has a lot to do with conditioning too, though.
Raj, you
is his issue pace? Is his issue his own pace? Is his issue his own pace?
Raj, you just described Luka as a player. Bad process leading to good. Like he's a tough shot maker. That's who Luka is.
No, but I think sometimes he
Luka doesn't play with bad process.
I'm not talking about like bad part, but he's talking about like.
I'm talking about when he's hot, like when he's like on fire. Then he'll get into his terrible like shot.
He doesn't play bad, bro.
No. Okay,
I shot the 3-point line.
I didn't word it right. I didn't word it right. It's not bad process. It's just
the usual
shots they be taking.
I think Shea's more of a bad shot taker than Luka is.
I mean, I feel
like I don't know how to fix that, but you just cannot, bro. He cannot.
Great players take bad shots, bro.
Yo, James,
for his conditioning, this is what niggas are saying. For Luka needs to condition himself to be able to average like 40 a game in the playoffs.
See, no, that's not what I think. I don't think that. But I just think he has to be able to be conditioned enough to where when he's in those fourth quarters, he's not completely gone. Like he's not a ghost.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not about. I don't care what the point total is. I'm not watching you even look effective in the game in fourth quarters, bro. I don't care about how many points he scored in the fourth. We all know LeBron James is going to be the leading scorer in the fourth quarter anyway, because that's just how LeBron plays. LeBron James will coast for 3 quarters, and then by the fourth quarter, he's giving you 15 points. And so it's like, I'm not worried too much about that, but I also have seen moments where Bron don't have it in those fourth quarters, and Luka not there either. So now I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what do we do? And then that's where I was looking at the Minnesota series, and I'm like, what do we do? Like, Luka looks gassed. LeBron don't got it. And Austin Reeves looks like a shell of himself. So what happens in the fourth quarters? We can't score. Like to me,
that's why
that was way more of an issue than Luka guarding, not being able to guard in the game.
So like our offenses in the fourth quarter, it was a big issue.
That was an
issue.
It was an issue in the regular season.
This nigga said Rui.
I got super duper handles, bro.
Nigga said Rui.
But I think that's where I think coaching is so important, and not even in the way of sets, but just smart actions that you could just go to that kind of guarantee points. Like the Nuggets do that. So
exactly. They don't go away from the actions they be running the first quarter.
And this took years for them to get this. But they have certain things where they're going to score almost every time in any fourth quarter, regardless of team.
See, but what Vinay just said, I tend to kind of agree with. If both your stars don't got to go in late in the game, you're probably not going to win. And that's where the way I look at it, like that's where I look at Luka. Because do I expect LeBron to be the one in the fourth quarters? Yes, I actually do. I expect Bron to be the guy in fourth quarters because he's been that guy. That's just what he is. Especially at this stage of his career. I think that's been LeBron's best way to preserve himself is to really start to take games over in fourth quarters. So I expect him to continue to do that. But I also need Luka to be available enough in fourth quarters and able, if needed, to be the one to take over that stretch of 5 to 6 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
But then
you guys gotta understand, you're not gonna get a Luka and Bron pick and roll because they're just gonna switch it, bro. It's not gonna matter.
Well, we didn't even talk about it. I'm not even surprised
I'm talking about this.
Luka doesn't have it in the fourth quarter when he's got 33 points in the first 3. I'm kind of expecting, especially when a lot of them first 3 quarters is built on tough shot making. Usually the shit balances.
But the problem is, though, if your offense is Luka going off in the first 3 quarters, what do you expect the offense to be in the fourth quarter?
I know that's the problem, and then you're gonna lose.
Yeah, so that's my
point.
Luka
going off.
Yeah, that's what your offense is run as. And I also I give him some bail because I think Luka really likes running with a person who can catch a lob. Like that's how he likes to run offense. Having a big man that can screen from him, and he did not have that.
LeBron, that opens up his game a lot.
He needs that's how he runs offense. The skip pass to the corners, all that shit opens up.
I almost want to watch Dallas Mavericks Luka and just see was he bad in fourth quarters? Was he not was he gassed out like this?
That's what they said. A lot of Dallas fans said that shit.
It's a completely different context because in the first 3
he gamed Rudy Gobert.
But in the first 3 he wasn't doing I don't think as much as he was doing with us and at least in that 5 game.
Better now. So you think he's better now in early game than he was in Dallas?
I think so. Early game, especially in the first quarter. But that first quarter shit he had with us from a couple games after
you don't remember him dropping 20 in the first against Minnesota?
I know. I'm talking about he got acclimated with the team to pretty much the rest of the season. He's a first quarter demon, bro. He's giving us 15, 18 points in the quarter.
Nah, he's looked like the best first quarter player in the league.
Like it's
literally, like,
and we're just and what helped us, and that is literally. I used to talk about it a lot. When we started going crazy, is because we would just.
Highlights?
This is a live game.
That's a game. It's a live game.
It's a live game.
I think why we really took off is because we spotted ourselves a 10 to 15 point lead with Luka just going crazy in the first quarter, and then we just hold it the rest of the game. That's literally what we was doing, and that's all we was doing. He just go crazy in the first, and you just got to play even from then on out, and then you're good. Like we just couldn't do that with Minnesota.
But it kind of does though. Because okay, let's go to Game 7. Let's go Game 7 versus the Phoenix Suns.
They were up like literally 30 or 40.
But Luka had like 35.
But yeah, he was stupid.
And that lead was like 30 or 40 by halftime.
But it was because of Luka.
I know, but it's not
like 77.
I'm not saying that's sustainable. I'm not saying that's sustainable. I'm just saying you said it could just work the playoffs. Like I saw it happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's done.
And Game 5 versus Wolves.
Yeah, literally 20 in the first half.
I think
the same thing. He had like 20 in the first half.
It's 50-50 in the playoffs. It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
that is 50-50. It's 50-50.
I agree. I think it works. I think it does work sometimes. Sometimes it don't work.
Okay.
Sometimes it does.
You're gonna run into a team that has enough defensive players to throw at him to like gas him out.
Raj,
to where that.
I think in these
I disagree, brother.
Raj,
last year,
OKC
OKC did that last year.
I don't think there's anything in the playoffs that's sustainable. I don't think there's anything, bro. We watched OKC do the best fucking defense in the fucking world. They can't stop the Pacers in some of these games. They couldn't stop Denver in some of the games they played, bro. Like, I just don't think, bro. The thing about the playoffs is, I think what makes it so different from the regular season is that every fucking game is its own entity. Like, every single game, bro. From game 1 to game 7, none of those games are the same. There's not really even, like, consistent patterns that you could there are, but like there's not a ton of like consistency you get game to game. And when you do get consistency, that's where you start to see, like, for example, like what Alex Caruso is doing right now in the finals. He's been consistently great in the finals every game. I feel like every game I've seen Alex Caruso be amazing, right? And so at that point you're like, well, he's just turning up. Like he just motherfucker just showed up to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? But I just think like every game in a playoff setting has its own entity. So like there's just, it's hard to gauge.
But you need to
know who what's not.
But you need to know who you are though, right? Like when it's down the stretch, you need to know what you run. Like the Pacers, even how clunky it looks, they know what they're going to. It's like Hallie, top ball screen, right?
Agree.
Okay, so you know what you're going to. Shea 1-4 flat or whatever it is. The Lakers, sometimes it's like, man, I don't know. Is it just Luka top of the key ISO? Is it LeBron at the top? Does Austin get the ball?
LeBron save us. That's literally what it is. It's nothing.
Or I mean, Austin had a bunch of game winners. Like it's like so. But
that's where I got to look at the head coach. And I'm like,
the coaching was really.
The coaching was awful. Like that's part of the conditioning too. Like how do you have Luka looking the way he does, playing 40 minutes or like playing whatever he did, 24 straight minutes? Yeah, it's just
that's why offensively with Luka, I'm not as. Even though I guess defensively the fatigue could come in as well, but offensively I'm like, bro, the nigga hit 8 or 9 tough ass shots in the first half. I mean, what do you think was gonna happen in the like? It kind of balances all out. Unless he's just gonna score 50 points in the game.
I was gonna say I'd be expecting that nigga to get 40 on most nights.
But you can't expect.
I feel like he's fully capable of that.
Yeah, you can't expect it. You can't
even
expect
for Luka, you can't expect him to score like 40.
I think he can average 38 for a season, bro. I might sound crazy. I think he can do it.
You are absolutely smoking.
You are
38, bro.
You're insane. No.
But you can't have it both ways, though, right? You can't have him go for 30, whatever, in 2 or 3 quarters and have no one involved, and then the fourth quarter expect the rest of the team to pick it up because he didn't, he doesn't have it anymore. Like there's got to be a balance with that where you don't win against the good teams. But it's not Luka's fault. It's just there's got to be.
I'm about to say I feel like that's not a Luka thing though.
That's not. It's not. But there's got to. Yeah, there's a coaching to it, but also like that style. Like I think that's like there's a way where Luka likes running with like big man, so that kind of takes the other ball handlers out of the play. You know what I mean? So like Austin and LeBron, not to like put bail for them.
Other niggas got to get rebounds, man.
Yeah,
I've already said this. I've already said this a million times. Like in order for this to work, like in order for the trio to work, the other two are gonna have to be efficient off ball guys. That's just what it is.
Austin Reeves, bro.
Austin Reeves gonna have to. He's gonna have to be an elite catch and shoot guy. And LeBron James is gonna have to be an elite play finisher. Like that's just what. If they don't do those things, this won't work. Like
Stand in that corner, Reeves.
And Luka is gonna have to be able to hit
a fucking corner, nigga.
Every now and then.
I agree.
Or at least take them once in a while. You're right. Like,
I agree.
Not everything
Wait, what you say, Zay?
Like, can I get a slot cutter too? You know what I'm saying? Can I get some of that shit?
I think for all three to work, all three have to sacrifice a little bit. I think the one that's going to sacrifice the least, I think, is LeBron, because I don't even really view what he's doing as sacrificing. He kind of want to play this way anyway. Like,
I'm about to say he want to play like that. He don't want to be the show.
I don't even think it's sacrificing. Like it makes all their jobs so much easier by doing it.
No, Austin's definitely a sacrifice, bro.
I think Reeves is gonna sacrifice.
That nigga gotta become a sniper.
You better sacrifice,
bro. You took a leap as an on-ball creator, and now you're being like.
But I mean, there's still second units to run. Like it's not like he's not gonna get a chance.
Off the bench, Reeves, yes sir.
Well, not off the bench, but
Coney
he'll get his
not off
chances.
the bench.
Number 2 removal for Coney.
Ron and Luka on the team, stand in that corner, nigga.
Okay,
Strike two.
He kind of walked into that though. I'm not gonna lie.
But you guys saw how like the Pacers use Siakam. Like I'd love for us to use LeBron that way. Like there's no.
It's different.
Why is it like
different? It's different because of Halliburton.
It's different. One, because of Halliburton.
Yes. They're saying he's better for
Raj, do you want Luka to be Halliburton a little bit?
I think LeBron.
I don't want him to be Halliburton, but there's parts of Halliburton's game I'd love for Luka.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's where I'm gonna be like Joe.
But I don't think this is. I don't think that's demoting.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening, bro.
That's not a demotion. It's just
we're
like
not gonna turn him to Lonzo Ball, man.
No, I'm not trying to. But like, there's some stuff where like if like the way Halliburton plays is like if there's an advantage up the floor, it doesn't matter where he is on the court. It's just let me get to the advantage. If my guy's sealed under the rim, I'm giving him the ball. Or if Austin has a beat on his guy, I'm pushing the ball up. Not every time do we have to cross the half court with 15 seconds left. Like there's a way where like you can run the offense just a little bit with more pace.
I'm not gonna lie, Luka used to. That is actually, I think, more roster construction. Because in Dallas, there was games where he absolutely played like that. But
100%.
I mean, bro,
the team was like that.
How many times this year did we watch those fucking go ahead passes from Luka to Braun?
Those are the full court ones, yeah. But I'm talking just straight like pitch ahead, like my guy has a little step on his. Like that's the stuff that Halliburton does within a game, which he doesn't really get the assist. I'm not saying Luka's assist hunting or anything like that, but there is some of like I'm gonna create the full advantage, then you guys play out of it. But there's like mini advantages I'd like for us to take advantage of. But that might be just picking on stuff. But no, I think LeBron and like there's stuff to learn from the way Pacers use Siakam, where they don't really run a shit ton of plays.
Here's the thing with Siakam though, Raj. Here's why.
What's the difference? Yeah, tell me.
I think Siakam. So like they're both fours at this stage, right? Like they're both
fours.
like
both bully ball.
Four. I know four is not really like a position anymore, but like they're both like power forwards. I would say Siakam oscillates more 4 to 5, and LeBron actually oscillates more 4 to 3. Just
not
in the
on
sense
last
of
year's
like,
team.
But just
in general,
I guess for me more so just like the way they play, like they're playing styles, not necessarily role on the team, but more like playing styles. We see a lot more face-up game from Pascal than Braun. We see a lot more post-ups from Pascal than Braun. We see a lot more just in general play finishing from Pascal than we see with Braun, as opposed to Braun is going to be the guy that's going, hey, you know what, set me that screen, Austin. You know what, Jackson Hayes? Yeah, you're going to be my pick and roll partner now. I'm going to get downhill off of this action. Or even when LeBron is scoring off the ball, when his cuts are from the top, right? Like he's from the top of the wing. Sometimes he's cutting baseline, but for the most part, like his actions are like up above the elbows, right? And so I feel like with Braun, you would be changing his game to a level that like I don't even know would really translate well because Luka Doncic is so on the ball. I don't know if like Halliburton lets Pascal do those things, bro. Like he lets sometimes like Halliburton's not in the play. I don't know if Luka's gonna not be in plays. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
like,
Luka's not in the play. It's just Luka has LeBron has the ball at the top of the key versus he's standing the. There's just like ways I think that like the way Rick Carlisle smartly uses him. I just think it's. I'm not saying turn LeBron into Pascal. Obviously, LeBron's skill sets way surpass what Pascal can do. It's just the way Pascal gets easy. Like, bro, how hard was it for LeBron creating offense in that Minnesota series? Like he was going he was running through the Randall brick wall basically every time. And like, watch how Siakam gets all these mismatches against, you know, these smaller defenders against the Thunder, and he's able to kind of get layups at the rim. Haliburton finds him in transition. Like, there's just stuff to me that we can kind of pull from that. But I'm not trying
that's a coaching issue. Then more is what you're trying to say.
For sure. I'm not
saying it's coaching. I think,
but why those mismatches though, Raj?
Because I think they set a lot.
But Pascal's Pascal can post you up. If you're not a center,
LeBron can't post you up. LeBron can't post you up.
But like,
LeBron's a great post player.
He can, but like, bro, we're talking about who's the better post player, Pascal Siakam or LeBron James?
I think it's LeBron.
I think LeBron's a better post player.
You guys think Pascal is worse than LeBron as a post up guy?
I think if I had to run,
I think Pascal's a much higher volume post up player, and he's more comfortable in that spot.
So you're basically saying he's better than LeBron.
I don't know.
I think the problem is,
I think LeBron's a better. I think he's a better like passer and playmaker out of the post. Obviously,
but you think Pascal?
I don't think LeBron's not. LeBron's not sitting there trying to get buckets in the post like Pascal is.
I think the problem is it's the negative. It's kind of like a negative and a positive and a negative, because Pascal is so much worse as I think just an overall offensive player than LeBron. The Pacers make it so much more simple for him with of that shit. Like with LeBron, the problem is he's so good that a lot of the times they really don't even bother. It's really just like, bro.
But they 100% should, though,
and they should. They absolutely.
There's no reason LeBron should be.
But Pascal can't do it, bro. Like Pascal can't.
I'm not saying
Pascal can't be. But I'm saying he can't go to the top of the key and set a pick and roll with Miles Turner. It's not like they don't. That's not his game. Like, he can't.
That's why they put him in so many of those positions.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's
my
why
point is, Rome, is like let's get LeBron some easier looks. Is my thing. Like, yes, he can still do all that stuff. I just think it's taxing as hell for a 41-year-old next playoffs or whatever he is to be like, hey, LeBron, let's run offense like you're 25. Like, you know, like I think there's a evolution to like how you can run stuff for him where he can still use his, like, he can still dominate with his brain and like with his superpower in that way, where it doesn't always have to be an athletic advantage. Because I think like the older he gets, it's just expected that he's going to lose some of these athletic wars. Like having him go one-on-one against Randall every time, I thought was insane. I thought that was just, I would have loved to get some cross screens or he gets some matchup against Conley or against some smaller guards. But again, I'm not trying to turn him into Pascal Siakam, who again, I don't think that's a crazy demotion.
No,
but
you're saying you want him to like get easier looks for LeBron. So
yes, like say that, like, because Pascal's not super screen setter either. Like they're not running a bunch of like on ball pick and rolls. But watch how Pascal operates off the ball, like all the off ball screens that they run for him to get easy looks instead of just.
The problem is the coaching staff thinks so highly of him LeBron offensively, that they a lot of the time are just like, bro, whatever you do, we know you can get to it, so get to it. And when it's like, no, I do need help sometimes to get to it. Like it would be nice if you guys could kind of run me something.
Well, one, Roger's saying the same thing I'm saying in the sense of, in order for this to work, LeBron is going to have to play finish more than initiate offense and be, you know, an on-ball creator. He's going to have to be, you know what, I'm cooking off whatever Reeves created for me or whatever Luka created for me. That's just what LeBron's gonna have to do. It's gonna make sense. Like if this is gonna make sense. But I also think, like, objectively, I feel like we're changing some of who LeBron is, even though he's a versatile all-around guy, and I think he's a great off-ball player. I do think there's a level of, like, you are taking away some of the essence of what LeBron is when you're making him do that solely, as opposed to, like, sometimes Bron needs the rock, dog. Sometimes Bron needs that little bop step back. And he's, you know what I'm saying?
And he's always gonna have the autonomy to do that whenever he wants. Like that's not going away. It's just
then, do you know if he needs that, you know who that's taken away from?
It's also taken away from Austin, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not even just Luka. Like Austin also needs that, right? Like so you essentially have three guys that kind of need, at least in moments, to have a little bit of on-ball autonomy.
So this isn't to like push Haliburton over Luka, but why do you think Haliburton, Siakam, and Nembhard are able to just freely operate without any? It doesn't look like they step on each other's toes at all. Like it looks like just a free flowing. Whoever has an advantage gets the ball, and somehow all of them end up with 20 in some way.
You're talking about Hallie and Siakam?
Hallie, Siakam, and Nembhard, who all like Nembhard's an on-ball guard too,
that's
right?
Easy though. That's easy. None of them are good enough on ball to garner all of the volume. That's why. Like, Halliburton's not a high volume scorer on ball. Pascal is literally not an on ball player. Like, he's like, give me the ball. Yeah, I'll face up. Yeah, I'll post up. But I'm not like on the ball. I'm not like creating anything outside of my own shot. And Nembhard is, I mean, his role on the team is like, bro, you're going to guard and then you're going to spot up. You're going to be more of a spot up guy. But you just have the ability to do it. But
but in crunch time,
the answer to your question, is because two of those guys are better when the ball is actually like, arguably when it's not in their hands. Like that's what I would say. Like, I don't want the ball in Pascal's hand over Tyrese Halliburton or Nembhard. And I don't really. I mean, I was just arguing with Khalil with Nembhard. Is that a home run? No, it's not. I was just arguing with Khalil about Nembhard and this playoff run where I'm like, he actually hasn't been that good offensively in my mind. And so it's just like, I don't think. And then when you compare that to what we have, but we have three guys that are like superior on ball, high volume dudes. Like, they don't have that. Like, they just don't. Those guys are just not that. If I wanted fucking Nembhard to run my offense, I'm in trouble.
But unfortunately,
if I want Pascal to run my offense, I'm in trouble, bro. And like, none of those guys are good enough on ball to garner that. So that's why it's like that. That's why they all fit. Because they can all play off of that. They can all play off of other guys.
I think they don't think
we have that.
None of them care. Well, not to say that Luka cares about stats or whatever. I just think Luka's been on teams at this point to where if he doesn't score 28 at least, they're not going to win. As to where I mean, Halliburton doesn't know that at all. They're going to win the game.
I don't even know if Halliburton can play like that. I don't even know if he can play like that.
But when I think that when they need it, he does that though. Like, he's had 30 in 10 games.
But it's not consistent. But like, it's
not consistent. But I'm saying, like, my point is, like,
I don't know when they need it. I think when he's hot, he'll do that. But I don't even.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's not looking the team in the eye in the game 7 like, I'm about to go get 40. I don't care. He's not like that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't like I don't agree. I guess with Luka, if he thinks that way, that he needs to score 35 for us to win. Like, I think there's a way if the offense was spread a little bit more, it would actually help the team. Like, I don't know, like if Nembhard was on a bad team, he could probably average 18 a game, right? If he was just given the keys. Siakam the same. I bet if you give Siakam some 8th team where he's the number one guy, he could probably average 22 to 25.
See, but we're talking about guys that, like, what you're saying, Raj, like, I agree, but I also think, like, bro, those teams aren't doing anything. Like, if that's what's happening, like, bro, when Luka has the ball in his hands, his team's going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? When he has a roster around him. When you know what I'm saying? When LeBron James when he has the team, he's going to the final. Like,
they have the proof of concept. So why would I believe
this is exactly. Yeah. We're talking about superior. Like, when I say superior on ball players, I'm saying, bro, these is not even. They're not even the same galaxy, not universe.
I think
they're
that's
not in the same galaxy as on ball guys. Like, I'm sorry, respectfully, Nembhard he can't even do what Austin does on ball. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't think he can, but
yeah, no, he can't. And that's where it's like, that's why it works though. Like, that's why Halliburton, Pascal, and Nembhard work so fucking well together, because like they just complement each other's strength. Because all those guys really are kind of complementary players. They kind of are. Like, they kind of are. Like, even Halliburton to an extent is kind of a complementary player. Like, when he has great players around him, he makes those guys amazing. And I think that's like his superpower.
So do you think, Rome, next year we just again do the same thing? We're like, here, Luka, you just run the whole offense and everyone works around that? Like, we just work around you like having the ball the whole time? Because I think that's what me and Zay are arguing. It's just like, that has just not shown to be successful later in the playoffs. Like, I feel like there's a cap to that. Like, maybe you can win a title doing that. I don't know, but I just think that's really rough. I'd love to see a little bit more evolution. Like, Luka shouldn't have to do that. You just mentioned you have LeBron James, you have Austin Reeves. I see the chat asking if Austin Reeves is put to a spot up shooter, then what's the point? I kind of agree with that as well. I think there's a way to like have all of them be on ball threats.
But Logo fan says it's a problem that Jokic has the ball in his hands. You know damn well that is different. Or what Jokic does, or what he has done, or what he did when they won the championship.
So
you literally know it's different. And he's a big. You literally know it's different.
And if we're being honest, like when we lost in the Western Conference Finals, bro, that was Jamal Murray, man. That wasn't Jokic. Jamal Murray averaged 32 points per game on 50, 40, 90, bro. He was the guy. like don't get me wrong, Jokic was incredible. Jamal Murray kicked our fucking ass. So.
But I think that's a good.
The Go fan says, but I think what Luka can do, it's nearly just as effective if you have a better supporting cast. But I think having a better supporting cast means you don't do that as much. If you have a better supporting cast.
That's the question. That's the question. Is that what that means, Rome? That like if you have a better supporting cast and Luka isn't this, I know you don't like the word heliocentric, but just having the ball for as high usage as he is. I don't know. I don't know what team
you have build. A big. Not just having a big helps Luka play in the pick and roll, but Reeves and LeBron can also play with that big as well.
It helps them too. Yeah, it helps them.
Yeah,
too.
That's big. Unlocking them as well.
My thing with Raj is like these issues that we tend to run into. Like I think it's not that I think like having a wing and a center will mitigate those issues like fully.
Yeah,
but I think it would give our team a dynamic to where it at least makes sense. So whatever we're watching. We can actually like we can judge what we're seeing and say, hey, look, you have somewhat an optimal situation. So if you're still having issues with this, or you're still having issues with like fourth quarter scoring, or you're still having issues scoring off the ball, or you're still having issues where it looks like it's a bunch of iso ball, then I think now we can start to be like, okay, maybe this just doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe, and the problem is too, one of the issues that people don't talk about enough, in my opinion, is trying to change Luka's play style for right now is justified because you have LeBron James and Austin Reeves. But the elephant in the room is, how long do I have LeBron James? And after I don't have LeBron James anymore, what will I have? Because I don't know if one is Austin Reeves even a second option level player. That's a whole nother question and argument and debate in its own right. But when LeBron's gone, why am I playing? What now? Who is Luka playing off of? Who is he? What is he? You're gonna go right back to Luka's gonna go right back to, you know what? It's your team, it's your show. You got to run it. So it's almost like at this point, you're playing as if LeBron's not there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like,
but you can't though. For next year, like LeBron's here next year.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
So like you can't
if LeBron was here for the next, if LeBron was here for the next 4 years, Raj, I think I'd be right there. I'd be right there.